This video is intended to help you learn how to research for this assignment. So notice on the assignment sheet that you have to find at least 5 sources. You have to have 5 sources for this assignment. That is a requirement. You can have more than that if you'd like to, but 5 is the absolute minimum. Okay. Also on this assignment sheet, you just scroll down to the criteria for success. 5 sources total. At least 3 of them have to be scholarly. The other 2 must be credible enough to use, and you have to use the credibility quiz handout for that, which we've gone over earlier in the semester. I would really prefer that all 5 of your sources are scholarly, especially if there is scholarly research about your topic. There's no reason that you should include a non-scholarly source if scholarly research is available for you. Okay, so just please keep that in mind. If you feel like you absolutely have to use a non-scholarly source to be able to present enough information about your topic, then you can do that. I would really prefer that you email me to run it by me first, though. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to use the example I have in here to research and show you how to do that. So I'm going to use the social media example. Remember that we cannot type in sentences like this into the library database one search bar. The reason we can't do that, we can, and we'll find a couple results, but that's not really how the search works. It's not like Google or something like that, okay? So instead of including every word that you would include in a regular sentence, instead you're going to use boolean operators, okay? And you guys have a handout about boolean operators as well. And so I want to show you generally how to do that. So if I want to find, if I want to find the effects of social media on personal relationships, then what I'm going to do is type in, well, first of all, I want the words, I'm going to use quotation marks because I want the word social media to appear together. Otherwise, if I don't use quotation marks, then those words may appear in very different places in the article, and the search results will still show those. And we don't want that. We want social media to be together. Social media and let's see. I'm just going to type relationships. And I'm going to put a star at the end of relationship. Actually, I'm going to put a star at the end of relation. This will show any word that begins with the preface, I guess, in this case, relation. So it will show relations, relationship, relationships, and so on if there are more, okay? So I'm going to press search and see what we come up with here. Okay, so that's giving us a whole lot of different types of relationships, right? So customer engagement, a lot of this information is going to be about customers because, yep, I knew it, because of businesses and stuff like that using social media. So we need to narrow it down more up here. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and click Scholarly and Peer Reviewed over on the left-hand side. And I'm going to only show journal articles. Last thing I'm going to do, because social media is a recent development, I need to limit my date range. So I'm going to do within the past 5 years. So I'm going to do 2015 to 2020. Okay. So this is a little bit different. We already have some different results. Adolescent peer relations, so it's depending on what you want to find here. This one's about healthcare. Obviously, that is not what we want to find. What we can do to limit our results is we can type another Boolean operator, not. They don't have to be capitalized, I'm pretty sure, but they can be. Not customers. Actually, and let's put this in parentheses. So think of this like a math equation. So we want social media and relation, not customer, okay? So let's see. Social media and body dissatisfaction. So we're getting families and social media use. We're getting way more results from this. What we can do even more if we think, so let's go back to the literature review proposal example. If we want to find one of these specific things here, maybe how social media affects communication within relationships. Maybe we want to find that specifically. So I will go up here and look up communication, and we might want to find relationship to relation if we can. If not, we could likely find sources that just talk about social media and communication, and then kind of relate those to relationships ourselves. So let me just search this and see if we can find this. Okay, this is a good one. Families and social media use. The role of parents' perceptions about social media impact on family systems and the relationship between family collective efficacy and open communication. Exactly what we want, right? This is about communication, social media's impact on communication within relationships. Let's see what else. Well, I don't need to waste time going over anything else here, but here's another one: communication skills, social media addiction, university students, so on. Okay, you'll have to actually read the abstract to view the abstract before actually clicking on the article. You can just hover over the preview. If it has an abstract, it will be listed here. Please keep in mind that not all abstracts are great. Sometimes they're computer generated, so you may need to read more of the article to find more information. Another good tip here, I'm going to try to find one that is actually a study. This one might be. Yes, this one is a study. The reason I know that is because it has a method section. So these have abstracts, but if you need more information than what that abstract is actually giving you, then you should look in the results section. Most abstracts don't have results listed within the abstract, this clearly and detailed. And so what you'll want to do is actually, this is where the paper starts. So you'll want to scroll down to the results section. Scan through the results. That just lists the results. It doesn't give you any analysis of the results at all. And so what you can do to figure out a better summary of this article is scroll down to the discussion section. Hopefully there is one. I think all of this is the discussion section here. Oh no, here we go. Discussion section. So what the discussion section does in a paper written like this, an actual like lab report style paper, is it determines or it interprets the results. Okay, and so this is where you're going to find your conclusions. What conclusions did these authors draw about this topic and about the rest of their study? Okay, yeah, so that's just a tip for sources like this. Not all of your sources will be like that. Let me find one that I know is not like that. Yeah, so it is like that. A lot of scholarly research is going to be formatted that way, and that's okay. Those are good sources. This one seems maybe a little bit, yeah. Nope. These are all teacher perceptions of things, and so they're likely studies that have gone over that information. Personal public relations. You might not use the source for this topic, but I just want to show you what a source looks like that is not also a study. I can't find one. Let's see. Okay, so this one's not a study. So this yes, it is. Goodness gracious, whatever. Okay, let's assume this is not a study. And the way you'll find the kind of general thesis statement of the source and the overall claim and argument that you need is likely going to be in the introduction. Okay, so thoroughly read the introduction, and it should have a thesis statement in there. If it does not, then you'll need to scroll down to the conclusion of the article and find their overall conclusions about what it is they wrote about in there. Okay, obviously you want to read the entire article, especially to determine if it will be helpful for you. But if you're wanting an easy way to explain or summarize the thesis statement or summarize the overall point of the article, then that's how you do it. Okay. I'm going to go back to the results section and show you other ways that you can narrow down your search. So we've narrowed it down by content type, and we've narrowed it down by scholarly and peer-reviewed and date. Okay. We likely don't need to use these, but maybe if we don't want, or if we want to focus on psychology, like the psychology of communication, we could do that, but I would advise against using these too much. And also, if you're changing your search, just keep in mind that these are still checked when you change your search up here, okay? So if you're looking for something different, you want to make sure that you check the right ones again, okay? So you do that. And this is going to focus more, obviously, on psychology. And then last thing you can do is make sure that you click English. And there aren't many in other languages, but we do want to make sure they're in English unless you know a second language. Then you could possibly do that if you wanted to, but you would have to be translating everything. And that's pretty much all of the filters that you'll use to research for this. I'm going to try to think of some other more Boolean operators here. You could do or, you could use the word or instead of just and or not. So let's see. What's another word for, okay, so not customer or business. And you'll want to put that in parentheses as well, because again, it's like a math equation. Okay, so yeah, this is how you use the Boolean operators. Please do not forget to look at that handout in Blackboard. This is my seated class online now. So if you're watching this and you're in my online class, Blackboard does look a little bit different. I don't know if I have the Boolean operators in here. Just want to briefly show you Boolean operators. I'm going to run out of time before I get to show you this. So I'm going to attach the Boolean operators into the announcement with this video. It'll be a handout, a Microsoft Word document. Alrighty.